Hello and welcome to the channel. If you are new here, hello and welcome. I'm glad you decided to click the play button and watch this video. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm glad you decided to hit the play button and watch this video. In today's episode, I am going to finish off a long list of chores and reupholster a bench I got for free. So if you're interested in this content and you'd like to see more of what I'm about ready to do, come on back around and let's get reupholstering. Here is where this project began. I selected my fabric. I went and got the fabric cut to size, and soon this fabric will live on the bench that you all are going to watch me reupholster. So stay tuned. Now that you guys can see what the fabric looks like, I hope you like it as much as I do. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it'll be a perfect addition to the master closet. Here is the bench I am going to attempt to reupholster. As you can see, the base of it where you actually sit is pretty dirty. It's been sitting outside for a number of weeks. A lot has been going on, and so I am just now able to get to this. So what I'm going to start doing is taking off the upholstery, cutting the buttons loose. Yeah, that's where I'm going to start. I've already wiped down the legs with a wood cleaner just to get them clean. I wiped the feet. Now it's time to take all of this off. And once I get that off, I will go ahead and I think I need to take the dust cover off as well. I'm not 100% certain, but I think the dust cover will need to come off. Once I get this leather or pleather or whatever this material is off, I'll be able to tell whether or not the dust cover will have to come off as well. If it doesn't have to come off, I will vacuum it, clean it, and disinfect it and go from there. So let me get started. I'm outside, and of course my neighbors are all outside as well, so you may hear neighbors going by, cars, all kinds of noise, so I do apologize in advance what you may or may not hear. If you've never seen my previous series of reupholstering my office chair, I'm just going to let you guys know now, I am not a professional when it comes to reupholstering. I'm very new at this. This is my second project of reupholstering, so please be kind. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tool here. I was using a flathead screwdriver, a very thin-ish flathead screwdriver, but I decided if I was going to reupholster projects in the home, because I do have a few more that I would like to do, that I need to make sure that I have some of the correct tools in order to use. So with that, I picked up this staple remover just to make things a little bit easier. So I am going to remove the staples, and if you've never seen staples removed, I'm going to show you in real time how to remove staples, and then I'm going to speed it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my foot on this project, and I hope you guys can see, and I'm just going to slip or try to slip this tool up under these staples. Now, I don't know how old this piece is. Like I said, I got it for free. I don't know what kind of environment it was in, and so I don't know how old it is, and these staples might take a while to get out, and as I'm trying to get them out, they're a little bit difficult to get this tool up under. So this is going to take me quite some time. But if you can see, all you do is you just push your tool up under your nails, your staples, and then you use a needle nose plier and pull those staples out, just like that. Now I need to get some type of can to put these staples in so that they can be thrown in the garbage. I think I have a box over behind the car, so I'll be getting that because I don't want these staples to just be lying about on the ground or in the grass. So I'm going to make sure that I dispose of these properly. But in the meantime, this is what I'm going to be doing, pulling these staples out. And so I'm going to speed this video up so that you guys don't have to watch me do this real time. And once I get all these staples out, I'll be right back. I know I just said I was going to start pulling these staples out and show y'all what it looks like. Sped up, full transparency. This bench was made to last. I don't know what kind of mutant staples they used to put this bench together, but it has taken all of my strength to get halfway done with this bench. Now, on this dust cover, there are several white tags. Y'all see these tags right here? As I was fitfully trying to get these staples out, and then I just said, you know what? I'm gonna start ripping this fabric off because the staples are just so hard, I cannot get them out. I began to read. This was made in Vietnam, and I want to give a standing ovation to the Vietnamese who made this bench. This bench has been an absolute nightmare to try to take apart. I mean, these staples are ridiculous. Some kind of mutant staples. They don't want to come out. They're hard as I don't know what. I don't know if it's the staples or if it's the wood. But either way, it's taken all that I have to get these staples out. And I've just begun ripping the fabric as best I can. So now I have this over here left to do, as well as this side right here. So I'm going to try to show you guys a little bit of this, because once I finish this bench, I'm going to have to go in and take a nap, because this is a lot, y'all. This is a lot. This is one of the toughest reupholstering jobs that I've done so far. And again, I have to thank the people of Vietnam who put this together, because they did this right here. They put this together. One of my first unfortunate findings on this piece is only one of the legs can be taken off. The other 3 legs, the bolts have been stripped, and I don't have anything that can get those bolts off. It uses a special, and I think it's called a hexagon. Don't get me lying, but it uses this type of tool to take the bolts out. And 3 of these legs, when they put them on, they were stripped. So I cannot get these legs off. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut the remaining fabric, and then I'm going to have to cut just enough to where I can tuck it inside of the opening of the leg right here. I'm going to have to see if I can tuck a little bit of fabric in there. As you can see, there's a tiny bit of movement. I'm going to take like a screwdriver or something and tuck some fabric in there, and maybe put some fabric glue to hold it in. But I'm not going to be able to pull this out the way I should have been able to on this leg right here. You can see I was able to get it out, and it was adhered to with some glue, but I'm not going to be able to completely do it like this leg, so I'm going to have to be creative. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this outer cover off. I'm going to take this piece in the house, and I am going to reupholster this piece in some air conditioning, because it is late in the evening. It is 97 degrees. It is, even though there's a breeze out here, it's still very uncomfortable, and it's time to take this piece indoors. What I'm doing right now is I'm just taking my scissors and I'm trying to cut this fabric off of the corner and not cut the padding. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm trying not to cut this padding right here because I'm going to save this piece right here. This wasn't exposed to anything or anybody, so that piece I'm going to save, and I'm just going to go around the entire piece and cut off the corners. So I'm going to show you guys over here how I cut this. I just shifted the piece a little bit, and I'm just taking my scissors, placing it inside of the material, and I'm just cutting. Now I am going to cut closer to the corner when I get inside. The whole purpose of this right here is to not cut the padding and to get this material off so that I can throw this in the garbage and then take this piece inside and begin to reupholster. So I am going to go and cut the last little leg. As a matter of fact, I might be able to pull this out. Let me see. Let me get my needle nose pliers, and let's see, put my foot on the piece, and let's see if I can pull this out. Well, look at there. Ta-da! All right, let me try the other leg that you saw me cut. And again, I do apologize for all of the noises you all hear. I am outside, and I've got neighbors driving, sneezing, and all kinds of stuff happening. So I do apologize if you all hear any disturbing noises. So I'm just pulling this piece out. I've got another piece over here in the corner. I don't think you guys can see it, but you might be able to. Let me shift it a little bit, and this one, hopefully I can get it out all in one piece, but it is tearing, so probably not. Yeah, this piece is tearing. It's actually up against the leg, and let me move it so you guys can see. It's up against the leg and the wood. So this little piece right here was tearing, and I can't get it out anymore. So I'm just going to try to cut the string if I can. Now I'm going to move on to the other leg and get those out. I want to make sure that if there are any staples sticking up, I pull those out. And then I'm going to clean up this mess, and we're going to go inside and start reupholstering. The staples have been removed, and now it's time to remove the material. All pieces have been released, so I'm just going to pull this back and show what's underneath. As you can see, down the middle where the piece had been slit, the collection of dirt and debris is very visible. You can also see this where the buttonholes used to be. So I will be removing this top portion of polyfoam and this little bit of batting that was on top, and I'll be replacing it with a new piece of polyfoam and new batting so that this piece is clean and comfortable going forward. That's been removed, it's time to take it inside. Now that I brought the bench inside, I am going to place a piece of polyfoam that I had from a previous project. I cut to size, making sure that I had some hangover on all sides, the front, the back, and both ends. I'm just dry fitting it now to make sure that there is some hangover on the ends. This way, when the batting is placed on and the fabric is placed on, the bench will be comfortable when someone sits on it. There won't be any hard pieces of the bench touching anyone behind the knees. So it's going to take me a few minutes to make sure that this poly is fitting correctly. I am not going to glue it down like the previous polyfoam that I took off, but I'm just going to make sure to the best of my ability that it is dry fitted, and when I put the batting on, that it will look perfect. This piece of batting was left over from the previous project. It's not the right size, so I'm going to use a new piece that I just recently purchased. I'm just going to dry fit it like I mentioned, making sure that there are no puckers and that there's enough hangover on all sides to where when I put the fabric on, the fabric lays smoothly and the piece looks nice. I've placed the polyfoam as well as the batting on top of the bench. I'm now going to place the fabric once I iron it. Now that the polyfoam is on, the batting is on, the fabric has been ironed and loosely draped over the piece, I am going to now start stapling a couple of staples to secure the fabric so that I can then turn it over on its upside and begin to staple all the fabric on. So let me make a staple on the center of the bench on the right and left, and on the center of the bench on the ends, and then I will turn it over. Pieces upside down, and I have staples on all four sides of it. I'm just going to start stapling all along the piece until all of the material has been stapled down except for the four corners near the legs. I've reached a point where I can start to cut off my excess fabric. I still may need to place a few more staples, so I'm not going to take off more fabric than I think is necessary, just in case I have to pull in a few more areas. But I'm just trying to get it to where the top half is nice and smooth and it's not tighter in one area over another. Excuse the little mess. This is my craft room. It'll get cleaned up, but here we go. Isn't she beautiful? Look at that, you guys. I have reupholstered a found object that was thrown away. Take it in. Sorry, my camera skills. I am working in a tight space. Look at my corners. I had to be creative with the corners because, as you all know, I was unable to take three of the four legs off, so I had to just, tuck it and do the best I could. But as far as I'm concerned, she looks amazing. So now I'm going to spray her with some Scotch Guard, and she's going in the master closet because everybody needs a place to sit when they're taking off and putting on their shoes. So until the next video, I hope you enjoyed this reupholstering of a bench. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
1, 2, 3.